What is up, Ivy Leaguers? We got a great episode for you here today, so let's dive right into it, all right? I know I'm looking a little spiffier today. I got the championship ring on because college football season has come to an end once again. I think we should give it a round of applause because it has truly been an awesome season. It is hard to put into words what kind of season it's been because it's been one of those kind of seasons. Um, so let's dive right in. National championship ring on here in honor of the national championship. So, obviously, we got to talk about the national championship that happened on Monday. And it was a crazy one. One for the ages. Miami taking on Indiana in Miami. Fernando Mendoza's hometown. I mean, it was a crazy matchup. So let's dive right into it. The game started off, first half was kind of a slow game, almost boring in a sense. Indiana was only up 10-0 at halftime, and it kind of felt like, oh, it was going to be a low scoring, grinded out, rough and tough game. And it kind of was, except for the fact that Miami stormed back into this thing in the second half and really made it a game. And it came down to the wire. You look at the matchup, neither team was willing to give an inch. And for a split second there, you thought, ooh, Miami might just win this one. Miami might just ruin Indiana's 16-0 perfect storybook run. And then Fernando Mendoza took control. Fernando Mendoza had an incredible play that just shocked the world. And in fact, a play that we might get to in our Ivy League Sports Podcast CFB Season Awards later this episode. It was a crazy play. This guy bulldozed two or three defenders, dove into the end zone sideways. Sorry, Mike. Dove into the end zone sideways and got the touchdown to put him up. But then wait, the game's not over. Miami gets the ball back. What, they were down 6, I think, at the time. Miami storming back into it. Carson Beck drops back, gets a throw. They're in range with like 40 seconds left. They could score a touchdown and win the game here. But then good old Carson Beck came back to life, or reverted to his old self, I should say, and threw an interception to lose the game. And it was a tough battle for Miami, but congrats to the Indiana Hoosiers on that victory. Well deserved. Obviously the best team in the nation all season. I can't think of a team that was more deserving of it. They played their hearts out all year, and they deserved it 100%. Mendoza proved me wrong. He proved the whole nation wrong, really, and proved that he was the best player in college football this year, in my opinion. I mean, he was maybe the only one that could lead Indiana to that run. He was definitely the best quarterback in football, and I think the best player in football this season. So it was good. It was truly a great ending to the season, a great national championship. It perfectly, I feel like, encompassed everything that this season has been, which is it has been a wild ride. One for the ages, quite frankly. This will be a season we never forget. It's a historic season. First team to go 16-0 in, I think, over 100 something years, which is just incredible. Obviously, Mendoza, Heisman quarterback. He will be the first pick in the draft unless the Raiders decide to screw it up, which I won't put past them. But Mendoza will almost definitely be the first pick in the draft. Curt Cignetti has completely revamped Indiana and not even revamped. He has created Indiana football because Indiana football really has never been good until Curt Cignetti came and did what he did. So, and his famous press conference opening is "Google me, I win," is what Cignetti said at his opening press conference. Well, Google put an ad out where if you Google Curt Cignetti, the first thing that pops up is, "Yep, he won," which I thought is hilarious. It's just so funny to me. I mean, he's truly a great coach. He's right now, I think, one of, if not the best coach in football right now. I mean, it's hard to say he's not. So, congrats to Indiana. A well-deserved championship from the whole team down. And we'll get back to some CFB stuff here later in this episode. Kind of a shorter episode, moving along quicker. We got the NFL playoffs. We had a crazy divisional round. One for the ages. A divisional round that had some very good games and a game or two that was not very good. So let's look at it. The AFC Championship is going to be the New England Patriots taking on your Denver Broncos. And the Patriots beat the life out of the Texans, it felt like, in their previous game. It was a sloppy game, but the Patriots really were able to hang on and defeat the Texans in that one. And the Broncos beat the Bills in another heartbreaker for Josh Allen. I mean, Josh Allen has just been through the ringer for in the playoffs, really. And there's a lot of blame on Josh Allen, but I don't think it should be. Josh Allen isn't Superman. Josh Allen can't do it all by himself. Okay? And when you look at it, if you watch a Bills game, it feels like Josh Allen is the only person there that can play. And they need to get some skill guys around them. They need to get some offensive linemen that can block. The defense has to be able to complete a game and play well for the entirety of a game. And they didn't do that against the Broncos, and so the Broncos won in overtime. That was a crazy game to watch. That game, New England versus the Denver, will be a tough one. It's tough to pick against the Denver Broncos. Denver's home. But there's something about Drake May and the Patriots. There is something about, shout out Ben Harris, there's something about Drake May and the Patriots. And I think I'm going to go with New England here. I think New England's defense has been on a tear recently. Obviously, the big headline is no Bo Nix for the Denver Broncos. Bo Nix broke his ankle or something on the last play of the Bills game. So no Bo Nix. If the Broncos don't have their starting quarterback, I don't think they will be able to win this game. Therefore, New England Patriots will advance to the Super Bowl. Now, who will do New England play? Let's look at it. So the NFC Championship, you got the Rams versus Seattle Seahawks. And I would be an idiot if I didn't pick the Seattle Seahawks. I mean, they had a heck of a win against the San Francisco 49ers. I mean, they just beat the life out of them. And the Rams had a thriller against the Bears. I mean, if you want to talk about a great game, go watch that Rams-Bears game. It comes down to the wire. The Bears have one last chance in regulation. Caleb Williams drops back. He's all the way back to the 40-yard line. He throws up a prayer, and it's caught in the end zone to send it to overtime. It's nuts. And then Caleb Williams throws an interception in overtime. The Rams score and win. So, kind of a crazy game there. Heartbreak for the Chicago Bears. It was heartbreaking for them. But it is okay because the Rams advanced. And Matthew Stafford is going to keep moving forward. But I do not think he will move forward against the Seattle Seahawks. The Seattle Seahawks defense is too good. I mean, they are elite. It's starting to look a lot like the Legion of Boom that we once saw from the Seattle Seahawks. They are a great defense, great offense. They will be able to beat the Rams, and there we will have a rematch in the Super Bowl from a couple years ago. It will be New England Patriots taking on the Seattle Seahawks. It will be a showdown. That is what I think it will be. Hopefully I'm right, because I like to be right. Of course, I always do. So now let's move on to our Ivy League Sports Podcast College Football Season Awards. All right, we got a list of awards here that I picked. Best Game of the Year, Best Play of the Year, and such. A lot of great plays on here. A lot of Indiana moments on here. I'm not going to lie. I was making it, and I'm like, man, Indiana, uh-oh. But let's do it. You know, that's why we dress spiffy. It's like the Golden Globes or the Oscars or the ESPYs, whatever you want to call it. You get a trophy, except I don't have the budget for a trophy, unfortunately. If someone wants to donate a bunch of trophies, I won't mind. Or just donate money. Anyway, sponsorships, please. All right, let's start it off. The first ever Ivy League Sports Podcast College Football Season Award is the best game of the year, postseason and regular season. All right, we're going to look at a regular season game and a postseason game. Okay, so the best games of the year for the regular season. All right, drum roll, please. Where's the drum roll? Georgia versus Alabama in the regular season. And that was a tough one to come to. That was a tough conclusion there. But it was a heck of a game to watch. One of the more stressful games to watch, I feel like, as an Alabama fan. But it was a great game. You saw two great teams just dogfight. It was just a dogfight, man. And it's something you love to see during the regular season of the playoffs, or just during the regular season in general. And it was fun. It was fun to watch. It was a good game. It was fun. But now let's move on to the best postseason game of the year. And this one's tough because there were a lot of good postseason games. I mean, you look at the Sugar Bowl, you look at the national championship, you look at first round Alabama versus Oklahoma, and who's going to win? Well, I'm here to tell you that the national championship game, Indiana versus Miami, was the best game of the postseason. It was a crazy one. It was a roller coaster of emotions here. You didn't know what was going to happen. Miami storms back. Indiana looks like they're going to win it in the first half. Carson Beck throws an interception. Again, Mendoza has his incredible run to win the game, basically. It was a heck of a game. And I think if we had to pick one best game of the year, it would be the national championship, Indiana versus Miami. And I really feel bad for those that didn't watch the Indiana-Miami game live because it was just that good. It was incredible. So that is your Ivy League Sports Podcast award right there for the best game of the year. I mean, that was a clear your schedule kind of game right there. All right. Moving on to the next award. We have the best play of the year. And you might be thinking, well, Ivy, how do you know what's the best play of the year? You probably didn't watch all the games. I went back and reviewed the tape. I went back and searched for this one. Okay, guys? This one took me a while to find out. And I had some bias when watching these plays. You know, in my head, I thought, oh, Zabian Brown's 100-yard pick six was awesome. But then I said, I got to push aside the bias. I got to move past it. And I'm afraid to say, and I'm not afraid to say, I'm proud to say, that the award for the run it back moment, the best play of the year, goes to Fernando Mendoza's run against Miami in the national championship. That run to put them ahead by however many points and secure the win against Miami is what did it for me. Mendoza showed grit, determination, and I mean, this play really just defined Indiana's season, in my opinion. Grit, determination, and a guy named Fernando Mendoza, okay? That is the best play of the year for me. Fernando Mendoza's run against Miami in the national championship to secure the national championship, to secure Indiana's first national championship. You get the award. Congrats. All right, let's move on to the best player of the year. Can you take a guess at who the best player of the year is going to be? In fact, I've already said it in this episode. And like I said, I'm going down the list. It's a lot of Indiana here. And you're right. The best player in the year was Fernando Mendoza of Indiana. He deserves it. Look, Mendoza is not only a great player, but he's a great guy. And I am partial to great guys. There's something about nice guys. Nice guys are the backbone of this world. Needs to be a lot of them in this world. So yes, Mendoza was the best player of the year. His stats prove it. I mean, he was definitely the best quarterback, no doubt, and he was the best player of the year in Ivy League Sports Podcast opinion. So there's his trophy. Like I said, please buy me some trophies. I mean, he's not just a college football player either. He's an NFL talent, and he's going to be an NFL star, in my opinion. So let's go to most improved team. So the most improved team this season, and a lot of people were saying, you should pick Indiana, Ivy. And I said, no. Because Indiana was good last year. Indiana had a great season last year. My most improved team this year is none other than Texas Tech. The Red Raiders. Guns up, whatever it is. I mean, not a ton of people saw this coming from Texas Tech. They had a great season, obviously disappointing in the playoffs, but they really had a great season, so they are my most improved. I mean, you look at all the talent they had. Jacob Rodriguez, you look at the regular season, they had a wonderful season, beating BYU twice in one season. That's difficult to do. Not just beating BYU, beating down BYU twice in one season. It's a difficult thing to do for any team. But Texas Tech, most improved team of the season. Congrats. You have won an Ivy League Sports Podcast award. Yay! All right. So, let's move on to the best coaching job. That is right, the best coaching job of the season. And I am willing to bet you, if I gave you 3 guesses and the first 2 didn't count, you would get this right, okay? That winner is Curt Cignetti. Curt Cignetti is a heck of a coach. I would give anything to have him coaching Alabama. He is just, he's hilarious to watch on the sidelines. The eyebrow raises, the not smiling until the post game. You know, he says after a win, all he wants is a cold beer. That's fine. I'm going to give him as many beers as he wants. I mean, that guy is a great coach. He is great at evaluating talent. He is a great talent builder, and he's a great motivator, and he's a great schemist, and he can come up with one heck of a game plan. So he is the coach of the year. He outcoached everyone. I mean, no one he played had a better scheme than he did. So, I mean, he deserves that by a long shot. All right, now let's do this. We got the most disrespected team award. All right, and this is kind of the y'all forgot about us kind of team. And that team goes to Ole Miss. Ole Miss was disrespected when Lane Kiffin left them the way he did, and everyone counted them out immediately when he did that, and it felt as if there was almost this cloud that was just put over Ole Miss football, and then they go and make it to the they made it to the semifinals of the playoffs. I mean, that was incredible with Pete Golding, and Pete Golding, I mean, he just secured himself a coaching job, it sounds like, at Ole Miss. So it was truly a great run for them, and they were disrespected throughout the season. Once the Lane Kiffin drama started, Ole Miss was really disrespected. But they showed that they can win. They didn't ask for the respect. They took it. They grabbed that respect and held on to it. So it was a wonderful, wonderful season for Ole Miss. They were definitely the most disrespected team, in my opinion. There's their trophy. Woohoo. They get a trophy. You get a trophy. You get a trophy. All right. Now let's go to the best villain moment. The best villain moment. The college football Twitter exploded kind of moment. And this one's a really easy one to guess. This is the best villain moment is Lane Kiffin leaving for LSU. That is a clear villain moment. He was the villain. He played the villain. He was not a good guy by doing that. It left a very sour taste in Ole Miss mouths, and it left a very sour taste in a lot of other people's mouth, except LSU fans. And it was a crazy moment. So that is clearly the best villain moment from the college football season. Here's your award, Lane. Get out of here. Oh, it was crazy. It was insane. Crazy. All right. Now let's go to our breakout star. This one was tough because I felt like this season there were a lot of new faces emerging. A lot of guys that could have won this award. But I'm going to give it to Trinidad Chambliss of Ole Miss. I think Trinidad Chambliss, he's kind of been disrespected and forgotten about his whole career. Obviously, D2 national champion, transferred to Ole Miss to be a backup. All of a sudden, Ole Miss's starter goes down with an injury, and Chambliss comes in, and he never came out. He came in, and he took the job, and he ran with it and led Ole Miss to a semifinal appearance. I mean, he truly played great. I think he's going to be a good NFL quarterback. If the New York Jets call his name, I wouldn't be too mad if I was a Jets fan. So he was kind of a who is this guy kind of moment. But then his stock kind of skyrocketed, and he's a great player. He truly is. So he deserves this award. There you go, Chambliss. You get the Breakout Star Award. All right, we got 2 more awards. All right, let's do the best storyline of the year. And this is a tough one. Best storyline of the year has to go to Indiana going 16-0 for the first time 16-0 the first 16-0 team in over 100 years. And of course, the fact that Indiana has been in football purgatory for as long as they have, and coming back and winning a national championship. I mean, you couldn't really script this. It is the perfect movie script. Can't wait for the movie. I don't know what they're going to call the movie because there's already a movie called Hoosiers. Great movie. You better watch that. Yeah, what are they going to name this movie? Jeez. It's tough. All right, and last but not least, your favorite Roll Tide moment from the season, all right? You knew you weren't going to escape my podcast without hearing the best Alabama Crimson Tide football moment from the season. Stay tuned for it because you're going to love it. And that is, drum roll please. That wasn't a good drum roll, but it's okay. I was in attendance for this. The Zabian Brown 101-yard pick six against Tennessee to end the first half and to propel Alabama to a win over their rival. I'm not saying I'm biased, but I'm also not picking against it. It was a heck of a play. It is clearly the best Roll Tide moment from the season. It's one of the best moments I've seen in person at Bryant-Denny, and I've been to 55 games there. So it was a special moment, special to see in person, and it was clearly the best moment from the season for Alabama. And that is it. Those are the Ivy League Sports Podcast Awards. Let me know what I got right, what I got wrong. That's it for your episode today. I am Ivy Taylor. This is the Ivy League Sports Podcast. Have a great day and good night.